Welcome, everyone. Let's get started on one of the most critical exam topics and real-world architectures, Scenario 6, Structured Data Extraction. We'll learn how to turn messy documents into perfectly structured, highly reliable data. In Scenario 6, we are tasked with building a structured data extraction pipeline. Imagine receiving thousands of unstructured documents like vendor invoices every day. Your downstream databases can't read conversational text, they need strict JSON. The challenge is that language models naturally want to chat. They want to explain their answers. If we just ask Claude to output JSON, it might wrap it in Markdown or add helpful, but breaking, commentary. To solve this, we must build a specialized extraction architecture that guarantees structure. Look at this high-level flow. We start on the left with our messy, unstructured invoice. It passes into our Claude extraction agent, which acts as a filter and processor, outputting clean, structured JSON. Finally, that JSON flows seamlessly into our downstream accounting database. Our goal in this training is to perfect that middle step. So, how do we guarantee Claude outputs exact JSON? The answer is tool use. Instead of begging the model to format its text correctly, we define a tool with a strict JSON schema. By setting tool choice to force that specific tool, we compel Claude to format its entire response as the tool's input arguments. This guarantees structural compliance. When designing your schema, remember to include an other option in enums for weird edge cases, and make fields optional if they might be missing from the document. If you make a field required, but the data isn't there, Claude might hallucinate a value just to satisfy the schema. Here we see the exact mechanism. Our prompt and document enter the system. We configure the API request with a forced tool choice. The Claude model processes this and is forced to output a tool use block instead of standard text. That block inherently contains valid JSON structure matching our predefined schema. This is one of the most heavily tested concepts on the exam and a critical trap in production. Tool use guarantees structure, it does not guarantee semantic truth. Yes, you will get perfectly formatted JSON without syntax errors. But what if Claude extracted the invoice date instead of the due date? What if the line items extracted don't mathematically add up to the subtotal? The biggest anti-pattern is blindly saving tool use output to your database without checking the values. You must validate the semantics of the data using your own business rules after Claude does the extraction. This diagram illustrates the two-step verification we need. First, the JSON syntax check, which our tool use automatically passes. But then we hit the semantic check, our custom code verifying the math and logic. If the math fails, we reject it. Only when both structure and meaning are verified do we save to the database. When your semantic validation catches an error, what do? You implement a validation retry loop. You send the document back to Claude, along with its failed extraction, and ask it to try again. But here's the secret, you must be specific. If you just say, there was an error, try again, Claude has no idea what to fix. You must provide targeted feedback like, your line item summed to $450, but the subtotal field says $500. Fix the discrepancy. This explicit feedback guides Claude to self-correct. However, recognize the limits of retries. If the data simply isn't in the document, no amount of retrying will magically find it. Follow the loop. When validation fails, we don't just loop blindly. We drop down to generate a specific error message. We append that message to our next prompt, call the API again, and hit the validation check. It cycles until the logic passes, resulting in a highly resilient extraction pipeline. Sometimes documents are just messy. They have weird layouts, implied values, or conflicting information. To guide Claude through this ambiguity, we use few-shot prompting. By giving Claude 2 to 4 concrete examples of input documents and their ideal JSON outputs, we establish a rock-solid pattern. The exam will test this. 2 to 4 examples is the optimal sweet spot. More than 6 just wastes context window tokens. Crucially, make sure at least one of those examples covers an edge case, like how to extract data when a field is partially obscured or uses non-standard terminology. Here we see the anatomy of a perfect few-shot prompt. Inside our system prompt, we include 3 distinct examples, a standard document, one with missing data, and an edge case. By showing Claude exactly how to handle each variation, we train the model in real time to maintain a consistent output format, regardless of the input's complexity. Let's look at the actual Python implementation. We call client.messages.create, passing in our document. The magic happens in 2 parameters. First, tools takes our predefined JSON schema. Second, tool choice is set explicitly with type tool and the name extract invoice. This guarantees Claude will bypass conversational pleasantries and jump straight into generating tool arguments. Once the API returns, you simply parse the tool block from response.content to access your structured data, ready for semantic validation. This sequence diagram maps the code execution. Our application sends the document, the tool schema, and the force tool choice. The Claude API responds not with a text block, but a tool use block. Our app intercepts this block, extracts the JSON arguments, and runs our local semantic validation before proceeding. As we move this pipeline to production, how do we measure success? Never rely on aggregate accuracy metrics alone. If you have 95% overall accuracy, it might mask the fact that while invoices extract perfectly, legal contracts are failing miserably. You must use stratified metrics, tracking accuracy by document type. Additionally, design your schema to output a confidence score for each field. If confidence dips below a threshold, automatically route that document to a human-in-the-loop review queue. This ensures high reliability while you continuously refine your prompts. Thank you for joining this deep dive. I invite you to like, subscribe, and visit quicktechie.com for premium certification prep, including Q&A banks, full ebooks, audiobooks, full-length training, and interview guides. In our final production workflow, extracted data hits a confidence check. High confidence flows straight to automation, saving money and time. Lower confidence hits the human review queue. The human corrects the data, and crucially, we use those corrections to update our few-shot examples, making the model smarter over time.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material. So this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper. It would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now the third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepared for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.